Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome back to the Kapeel Gupta Career PodShow. And today, I want to begin with a sentence that may bring relief to thousands of students listening to me right now. Your study abroad dream should not end just because of one English test. Yes, I said it because I know how this story usually goes. A student works hard for years, good marks, big dreams, strong intention. The family starts imagining a better future, new country, new university, new opportunities, maybe even a new life story. And then suddenly, one requirement starts behaving like the final villain in the movie, IELTS or TOEFL. And for many students, that one requirement feels bigger than it should. Not because they are weak, not because they are not capable, but because the whole process feels expensive, stressful, and time consuming. You prepare your academics, you prepare your documents, you prepare your finances, and you prepare your courage. And then one test starts standing in front of your dream like a security guard who has taken the job too seriously. Hi, I'm Kapeel Gupta, career coach, life mentor, graphotherapist, and founder of Study Abroad Academy. I help students, parents, and young professionals gain clarity, confidence, and direction in life and career through deep coaching, mindset transformation, and the powerful practice of graphotherapy. Because career success is not just about choosing the right course. It's about becoming the right person for the life you truly want to build. So today, I want to do two things. First, I want to remove unnecessary fear. Second, I want to replace it with smart clarity. Because, yes, there are real cases where students can study abroad without IELTS. But no, it's not a magical shortcut where all rules disappear and every university says, come beta, no problem. The path is real, but it is specific, it is strategic, and it rewards students who research properly. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a student named Mehak, bright, serious, hardworking, the kind of student who has not built a dream casually. She has spent months imagining herself on a campus abroad. She has looked at universities, courses, student stories, cities, and scholarships. She's not daydreaming, she is planning. Then every time she reaches the English language requirement section of university website, she feels the same sinking feeling. IELTS, TOEFL, language proof, minimum score, deadline, again. Slowly, she begins to believe a dangerous myth. The myth is this: no IELTS means no study abroad. And that is the myth I want to break today because the truth is more interesting. Most universities do not worship IELTS. What they really want is proof that you can study successfully in the language of instruction. For many universities, IELTS or TOEFL is the easiest standard way to check that. But in some cases, it's not the only way. And that is where smart students win. The most important alternative you need to know is the medium of instruction certificate, often called the MOI letter. And this is one of the most powerful tools a student can have. An MOI is an official letter from your previous school or university stating that your education was taught in English. In simple words, it tells the next university this student has already studied in English for years, and that is their proof. And that is not an unreasonable argument. If a student has already completed schooling or a degree in English, many universities may be willing to consider that as evidence of English ability. Not all, but some. And that is the key word of today's episode: some. Because this is not a countrywide, worldwide, every university wide free pass. It's a case by case pathway. And that is where many students make mistakes. They hear one reel, one friend, one comment, one consultant, one half correct video, and suddenly they say things like, जर्मनी में आइल्स नहीं लगता और एमओआई दे दो काम हो जाएगा और यूरोप में एग्जाम स्किप हो जाता है. नो. What actually happens is this. One university may accept MOI for one program, another may reject it completely, and a third may say admission is possible, but visa rules are separate. And that is why you must never research only the country. You must research the exact university and exact program. And now, let us talk about the countries students care about most. So let's begin with Germany. Germany remains one of the most attractive destinations for students because many public universities are still low cost compared to many English speaking countries. And that is why students love it. But you must not say Germany is free for everyone, as if that is a law of nature. It is not. Germany can be very affordable, yes, but some federal states and universities have different rules for non EU students. So the accurate mindset is this: Germany is often low cost, but not universally free. And now comes the IELTS part. Some German universities or programs may accept alternatives, such as an MOI. But again, this is not a blanket rule. One department may allow it, another may not. One master's course may accept it, another may ask for IELTS or TOEFL clearly. So Germany is exciting, but only for students who read official program pages carefully instead of building their future on forwarded messages and overconfident reels. Next comes Malaysia. Malaysia has become a very practical option for students who want English taught education with more affordable tuition than many Western destinations. Some universities in Malaysia may allow English requirement exemptions if your previous education was taught in English. Now, that makes it a very interesting pathway for students who want a more flexible route. But again, please notice the wording. Some universities may. That means you still have to check the exact policy of the institution and program. If one university in Malaysia accepts MOI, that does not mean the whole country has made a personal promise to you. Now, let us talk about Italy and parts of Europe. Now, this is where hope and confusion often becomes best friends. Yes, some programs in Italy and other European countries may accept alternatives to IELTS in certain cases. Yes, Europe has several affordable options compared to countries with very high tuition systems. But if a student starts saying, Europe mein IELTS nahi lagta, they are already walking towards trouble. Europe is not one university, Italy is not one department, and one old student's experience is not official policy. So the right way to think is some programs may accept alternatives, but I must verify the exact course page myself. And now let us come to France. France is attractive for many reasons: strong education, good academic reputation, global exposure, and many English taught options at the master's level. But please remove one myth from your mind completely and immediately. France is not automatically free. Can it be more affordable than some countries? Yes. Can it still be a good option? Absolutely. But free by default? No. So if you are exploring France, do it intelligently. Look at the exact university, the exact tuition, the exact language requirement, and the exact visa process. Do not let romantic ideas about Paris replace practical thinking. And then there is Norway. This is one of the most important corrections students need right now. For years, students kept hearing that Norway is tuition free for everyone. Now, that story is outdated for many non EU students. So, if someone is still saying, Norway chalo, free padhai, please tell them lovingly, the time has moved on. Norway can still be a great study destination, but students from outside the EU, EEA generally should not assume tuition free study as the default. This is exactly why official websites matter more than social media nostalgia. Now, let us talk about the second big route. What if you do not want to depend on English medium exceptions at all? Now, there is another path. Study in the local language. This path is not easy, but it's real, powerful, and in some cases, even more rewarding. If you learn German, French, Japanese, or another local language and qualify for programs taught in that language, then IELTS becomes irrelevant because English is no longer the medium that matters. So, this path demands more commitment, but it also gives something special: deeper immersion, stronger integration, and a unique profile. So, please understand this clearly. Studying abroad without IELTS does not always mean escaping effort. Sometimes it means choosing a different effort. And that is perfectly fine as long as the decision is conscious. Now, let us turn all this into a real action plan. If you're serious about studying abroad without IELTS, the first thing to do is this: stop searching by country only and start searching by program. Do not say, I want Europe. That is geography, not strategy. Do not say, I want low cost study abroad. That is desire, not a plan. Instead, say, I want this specific bachelor's or master's program in this exact field, at this exact university, in this exact intake. And that is how clarity begins. The second step is to go directly to the official admission page of that program. Read the language section carefully. Do not skim it like terms and conditions. Read it like your future depends on it, because honestly, it does. Look for phrases like English language requirement, proof of proficiency, waiver, exemption, medium of instruction, accepted alternatives. So if the page clearly says MOI is accepted, that is useful. But if it clearly says IELTS or TOEFL only, accept reality. And if it's unclear, email the university and ask properly. Not, can I apply without IELTS? Ask clearly and specifically, my previous degree was taught fully in English. Does your program accept a medium of instruction certificate in place of IELTS or TOEFL for admission? That is how serious students ask serious questions. The third step is to request your MOI letter early. If your school or college taught you in English, contact the administration and ask for medium of instruction certificate on official letterhead. Do not wait till the final week. Institutions have a special talent for becoming slow exactly when you are in a hurry. The fourth step is one of the most important. Check visa rules separately. Please remember this forever. University admission and visa approval are related but not identical. A university may accept MOI for admission. A visa officer may still expect standardized proof or other documentation. So always go to the official embassy or immigration site of the country you are targeting and check the student visa language and documentation requirements separately. And the fifth step is to strengthen the rest of your application. If you're applying through an alternative pathway like MOI, then your SOP, recommendations, academics, profile, and clarity of purpose become even more important. You should not sound like a student trying to escape standards. You should sound like a serious applicant meeting them through a legitimate alternative. Now, let me speak directly to the student listening with both hope and anxiety. Maybe you have been scared by one requirement for too long. Maybe you started feeling that everyone else is moving ahead and you're stuck. Maybe one test began behaving like a judge for your entire future. Please do not hand that much power to one exam. Your future is bigger than one test score. Yes, you must be realistic. Yes, some universities will still require IELTS or TOEFL. Yes, not every dream route can be unlocked through MOI. But no, that does not mean all doors are closed. Some doors open through MOI, some open through internal alternatives, and some open through local language routes. And some open because a student was smart enough to stop believing myths and start reading official rules. That is the kind of courage I want from every student who is a study abroad aspirant listening today. Not fantasy, not fear, smart courage, because smart courage changes lives. Now, let me say the most important emotional truth of this episode. Too many good students give up early, not because they lack talent, because they hit one requirement and think the entire dream is over. That is heartbreaking and unnecessary. Sometimes the dream is not blocked. Sometimes it's not just asking you to choose a better research path. And that is what I want this episode to become for you. Not false hope, not random hype, but informed hope. The kind that says, I may not take the standard route, but I can still take a real route. So here is my message to you. Do not say, I can't study abroad because IELTS is a problem. Say instead, which universities and programs in my field may accept alternatives and what is the smartest way to prepare. That one shift in thinking can completely change your energy. And now, let me speak directly to the student or parent listening to this episode. If today's conversation opened your mind, but you still feel confused about which country, which course, which university, which visa route, or whether your profile is strong enough, then do not try to solve the whole puzzle alone. That is exactly where I can help you. Through my career counseling and study abroad mentoring program, I help students choose the right course, the right destination, the right fit universities, and the smartest possible strategy for admissions and long term career growth. If you want personalized guidance instead of random internet confusion, connect with me. Do not leave your future to assumptions and do not let one test or one myth decide your dream. Message me today and let us turn your study abroad dream into a clear, realistic, and exciting plan. Because your dream is not defined by one exam, it is defined by your ambition, your effort, and your willingness to find the right path. This is Kapeel Gupta, and you're listening to the Kapeel Gupta Career PodShow. Keep dreaming global, keep planning smart, and remember, sometimes the door is not closed. You just need the right key.